lot of recent commentators have noticed that the creation week is like a temple building project. That we can see that within the Bible itself. When temples and sanctuaries are made in the Bible, they're described in kind of creation terms. And we can read that back into Genesis 1 and see that God is constructing a world in which he's going to dwell. Now, the climax of ancient temple building projects, there was a ceremony to install the image inside the house. That was the sign that the God was going to be present inside the house. And that's part of the logic behind the installation of man as male and female in the cosmic temple that the Lord makes. The Lord makes his claim on his world by setting up his image in his world. And we are those images. We're the living images. Unlike the images of the nations, unlike the images that are images of idols, God sets up a living image that relates to him, that speaks to him, that also makes and creates just as God has done. And I think that's part of the image of God. There's a long debate about whether the Trinity is reflected in the early chapters of Genesis. And I think we already see in Genesis 1 hints of what will later become the full revelation of the Trinity in the New Testament. God creates by his Spirit. God creates by his word. He consults with himself and says, let us make man after our image. And then he makes man divided into two sexes, male and female, to relate to one another in a way that produces fruit that's creative. So that relationality, both with God and with one another, is part of the image of God. We're made in the image of a triune communion, and so we are creatures made for communion.